Hello, everyone. I just got back from a little time up in Oldmar, and I got some new banknotes to show you. So let's get into it. First up, we got 10,000 Afghanis from Afghanistan from the year 1993. As we can see, it is written in the Pashto language. On the front, we can see the Great Mosque of Herat being a major city in Afghanistan. And on the back, we can see this arch here, which is I believe it's a place called Kuala e Bosch. I could be misremembering already, but it's an ancient fort, very old, and this mosque is part of not this mosque. This arch is part of the remains of an ancient mosque. So these are some pretty interesting historical sites from Afghanistan, and we also have a pretty interesting color scheme here. We got a mix of sort of a blue green color with a red orange in the middle. Very interesting, and some touches of pink. Neat color scheme. Up next, we got 100 dinara from the historical nation of Yugoslavia. As you can see on the front, we have an exact date of 16 May 1986. Interestingly, this statue here, very nice looking on this side here, I can't really tell which side it is because it's mirrored on my screen, is located in the Garden of the United Nations right here in New York in the US. I say right here, I'm in Little Florida, I'm not in New York, what am I thinking? As you can see, there are a couple languages here on the front reflecting the linguistic diversity of Yugoslavia. It is issued, of course, in Belgrade, which was the capital of Yugoslavia and is today the capital of Serbia. We got this not really that unique, but it's a very nice looking reddish color scheme we got going on the front. Nice statue here, like I said earlier. And on the back, they didn't really go for an image, they did more of a text and a number based design, which I'm not really big on those, but I think this one works pretty well. Once again, we can see the name of Yugoslavia, full name of the country written out in the different languages. We also see the denomination again. Let me flip this around and I can say which languages we got. So we got Croatian, Serbian, and I'm thinking probably Bosnian. It looks like this is Bosnian. So we got, oops, sorry. Let's look at the back. So we got Croatian, Serbian, and Bosnian. Now there it was an Albanian speaking minority in Yugoslavia from what is now the disputed nation of Kosovo, but they didn't really get a lot of recognition in Yugoslavia. So as you can see here, I don't think Albanian is represented. But still, a really neat banknote and an interesting story behind this statue, which is actually located in the United Nations. Now, speaking of Croatian, our next banknote here is 5 dinara from modern Croatia, which interestingly has this very nice purple color scheme to it. I usually don't see purple used on banknotes. Now, on the front here, we have this notable Croatian scientist named Ruder Boskovic, I believe his name is. And as you can see, we have some charts here probably relating to the work that he did. You can see a little emblem of Croatia right up there. It is in Croatian, of course, just like the Croatian we saw on the Yugoslav dinar. And on the back, we have this big cathedral. I think this is probably located in like the capital of Zagreb because I don't think there are any cathedrals of this style in like the coastal cities. What's interesting geographically is that Croatia, there's the coastal region, and then there's the little inland region which juts inward. So it's a very interestingly shaped country. I think this probably comes from Zagreb. This looks more like something you'd see in inland Croatia. So this is a really neat banknote with a unique color scheme. Next up, we got a much more simpler banknote. Here we got 25 sen from 1964 from the Southeast Asian island nation of Indonesia. As you can see here, this is a pretty minimalist design. We have a what appears to be a military volunteer over here, and we have the denomination, pretty big letters. This is for a very minimally designed banknote. I think this is a really good looking one. The elements really go together really well. I actually like the way this font, especially how the five is shaped. And on the back, we have this neat geometric design with the serial number and these little circular things that I think are pretty neat looking. And interestingly, some of the earliest banknotes I ever got were from this same series. I never had this 25 one though. So this is a pretty interesting banknote, and I think it's got a very, very strong minimalist design going on. This next banknote is a much more historical one, an interesting one too. Here we have 5 rupees issued by the Japanese government, no date but made sometime between 1942 and 1944 for the occupied region of Burma, which is now known as the nation of Myanmar. Now, at the time, Burma, now known as Myanmar, I'll just call it Burma since that's what they called it then, was a British colony, British Burma. And since Japan was at war with Britain as part of World War II, they took over Burma and they had to issue this currency here. As you can see, we got a palm tree and some Buddhist architecture, and it's very simple. It references a lot of the things you will see locally in Myanmar to try and give it a more local look, even though it is being issued by a foreign occupying power. There's a little Japanese right down at the bottom. The most of it is in English. And the front has a pretty neat design to it. The back is much more simple, though there isn't even any writing, just 3 5s and some geometric designs going on. So this is an interesting historical banknote we have here. And it's also kind of relevant because I'm currently taking a class on World War II. So this is a historically relevant banknote. Next up, we have 5,000 drachma from Greece, issued in 1984. Can't read mums in Greek, so I can't get an exact full date. But as you can see, there's a lot going on design-wise here. I really like the lot of colors we got going on. We got this picture of one of the Greek freedom fighters who fought against the Ottomans on this side here. A little Greek Orthodox church along the bottom. Really neat font we got going on. A lot of different colors. A lot going on with this design. I really like the way it all comes together. And on the back, we got some, looks like ancient ruins showing the history of Greece. And I really like the color schemes. We got a lot going on. We got blue, orange, green, some brown, and we can see some red, almost looks like some pink here going on the front. So I think this is a really strong banknote design-wise, and I really like the way it all comes together visually. Last but not least, we have 500 zlotys from Poland, issued in 1982. As you can see, we have a Polish historical figure. Let me get his name here. Tadeusz Kosciuszko. Here in the middle on the front, we got the Polish seal right here. And we have a bit of a much more simpler design scheme here. We got brown, orange, and green going on. I really like this font that they went with like the top titles and the number here. On the back, it looks like we have a historical flag and a coat of arms. Not exactly sure what the relevance is, although I assume they are important in Polish history. We have the same color scheme in these little initials. Very fancy looking font here. And this is only my 4th Polish banknote I've ever gotten, so this is a pretty interesting one. Yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like the video, and have a good day.